Welcome to a one-way fighting podcast with me, Neil and Miles. Little advanced look at the UFC 259, and me and Miles just been talking about it. Then, what's the big fight for you? Obviously, Jan and Israel.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good fight. I reckon it's gonna be a close one. A lot of people have got him as an underdog. I think.
Who is he?
Adesanya is obviously. He's one of the greats, right? We've got to put him up there, one of the greats. If he beats,
he's 4.5 pounds lighter than him, though, isn't he, at the minute?
Yeah, he's like 5 pounds lighter, and he's going to walk in probably about 20 pound difference, I reckon. Especially if Yang's weight cutted heavy. I don't know how heavy he's weight cutted, but he's gonna walk in. I reckon.
I see Yan taking it. To be honest with you, I mean. Adesanya's got that movement, mate. He's crazy, in terms of some of the. I mean, you can compare him to John Jones and stuff like that, but I feel like he's gone up a weight class there to fight someone who's just got this punching power, mate. I mean,
yeah.
Look what he did to. Is it Devin Clark? Is it? He smashed in there. You messing with your camera there?
Yeah, yeah. It's going nightmare. There you go. I like this throat. Are you throat now? Yeah, okay.
That's it. You're looking better there, mate. Yeah. You still see me, can you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I didn't like that angle, man.
Did you see the Luke Rockhold knockouts?
What with Yang?
Yan, yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. That was brutal.
I mean, he put him to sleep there. I mean, that looked like he was on the back foot a bit when he come in with that, and he just fucking KO'd him, mate. Put him a kip.
Yeah. I think.
Go on, mate.
I just think Yang, mate. He's powerful. His stamina's there, and Adesanya obviously he's got the advantages that can beat him. For example, like you said, speed, accuracy, his movement. But that weight difference, especially if Yang gets him on the cage, puts him, then roughs him up. Obviously, he's got to get there, but it's 30 pounds. Like it's a lot. It's 30 pounds.
You know what though? The big thing for Adesanya is going to be his movements and his speed, really, isn't it? I mean, he TKOs more people than he knocks them out, really. Well, I didn't watch too much of his kickboxing career, really, other than the one when he gets knocked out. But in terms of the UFC and that, but. With me, you can't sleep on Yan thinking he's like the bigger dude and I've got the movements, because he does look. It's weird because you watch Yan and you think he's just stood there and he's in front of you, but it's very slight, very subtle footwork, and he's got a lot of takedowns in him. He was going on about he was going to wrestle him, and I looked at the forums and people are like, oh, he's not going to wrestle. Takedown after takedown after takedown on a lot of his fights. He was taking down Dominic Reyes in the last one before he'd done him.
Yeah, he's got an underrated wrestling paraclete. I can't say the word paraclete, and as well, I think that's
you say pedigree. Pedigree.
Yeah, there you go. Cheers. Help me out. That's beautiful, mate.
Okay,
yeah, when you get those words, you're just like, I'm just going to avoid it. I'm just going to try, and people can just guess what word I was trying to get at. But yeah, he's underrated in that sense. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to use it. But Adesanya has got a good defense as well. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a really good fight. I think it's gonna. I kind of want it to be a 5-round. I want it to be a war.
Yeah.
But I can see it either. I can see either going early, Adesanya, get like a little bit like he did to Costa, kind of like everyone's kind of like, oh, Costa's going to rough him up, going to get a takedown. It's going to,
Costa, I thought was too sort of forward backwards. He doesn't really go lateral, does he, in his movements? So
it reminded me of it.
He's just a scary fucking the way he looks. He's just scary.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're seeing him in the street and he came onto your bed, you'd be like, shit, what do we do here?
Let's go, man. I'm getting the bus.
Size of him, he's got bigger pecs than I'm tall, like, you know what I mean? But it's one of them. He's very fucking one way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were saying before that fight that he TKOs people, he doesn't knock them out. and he's really got to put Adesanya in a corner where he keeps him there for a certain amount of time in order to put that TKO on him. He's got to chase him down, and that's hard to do with Adesanya because he's just here, there, everywhere.
His movements at world class, and the thing is, if he wins today, tonight, if he wins tonight, for us, his stock's gonna skyrocket. He's gonna be the 5th double world champion, outside of like Conor, Daniel Cormier, and a couple of others.
Cejudo and Nunes.
Yeah, and then
Cejudo. You look like Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, I get that,
like
and then I get
like a big one.
You know who I get as well? You know who I get as well? Kevin Gastelum.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
the body type as well. Yeah, right now as well, because I need a haircut, mate. Just fucking lockdown and that, and it's bad. But to be fair, the thing is, now he's gone the same as me, slip 0 on the side, or like faded 0 with quite long on top. I'm like, fuck off, Kevin, mate. We already look like you. Come on, sort it out.
Yeah, I've got short back and nothing, lad. That's
all.
I can't take the piss. You know what I mean? I'm living in the past.
You know, go over a bit in me. Sorry, mate. I'm sorry, but yeah, I see that as either one of those two ways. How do you see the fight going?
Yan, I think Yan's going to win.
You reckon? Wow, that's a bold claim.
You know what? Just before we were doing this, I was just watching the fights. I get it. I do. And you know what? I'd be happy to see Izzy win, because then you'd be looking at the Jones fight and stuff like that, and you'd have another, 2-weight class champion and stuff like that. It'd be,
he'll transcend. Another one you need to help me out with. Transcend the sport. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Yeah.
Dyslexic.
I mean, he's one that I was working massively when he came through. So I was catching highlights. I wasn't watching the full events, and it's a bit shitty. You get times like that when you can't just put your time into it, especially when it's on at like 3 a.m. over here. It's not like we're in America.
Yeah,
but I just see like the interviews and everything he does. He's got the character. You watch him on the podcasts and that, and you think like he's got the personality. He's the full package, Adesanya. He's one of them. So transcending the sport's not a problem for him. And I think even if he does lose, I still don't think it's going to make that big a impact on his career in terms of that. He's still, how old is he? He's still young, like, isn't he?
I think he's like 29, 30. I don't think he's as young as people say. Like, he's quite, to be fair,
don't get me wrong. It doesn't happen as much anymore, like, with fighters, but you had your Randy Couture's and that fighting on in their 40s and stuff like that. You'd look at Dan Henderson. I'm saying it doesn't happen anymore. He's only retired a few years ago. Dan Henderson, I mean, apart from getting ragdolled by Cormier, he was still throwing bombs. I mean, that Bisping fight, man, that's controversial.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, he's 31. I just checked now. He's 31.
31.
Is he? Yeah. So he's not. He's Except he got a couple more years. I didn't think he was that old though. You wouldn't think it when people say, "Oh, he's 31." I'd be like, "Oh," before I searched it, I didn't think that. I thought he was only like 28, 29. It's because he hasn't, like, how long has he been in the UFC for? Not from what I remember.
He's got, mate, I'll tell you.
2016 was it? I don't know. Is his debut 17? Because obviously he was kickboxing world champion.
So UFC 211 back in 2018.
Wow, that's his debut.
And the one thing I'll give you is since 2018, he's banged out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights. 9 fights in 3 years?
Yeah.
Now you
look. Did you say 17 or 18?
2018, yeah. And well, we're 21 now, aren't we? But what you've got to look at is he's still in the potential, but he's got more time now. Because 31, he's got like another 5 years potentially plus. 36, he's going to be cutting it fine, like, but he's got time to still put in more and more performances. If he does do it tonight, then you see stuff like people going about Khabib. I mean, since 2014, I was looking before Khabib's had like 6, 7 fights since 2014. I think it's 7 fights in about 8 years. And then you look at him, he's bashed out 9-3. And when you're talking about GOATs, I mean, Khabib, you can't deny what he is, mate. He's unbelievable in that. But in terms of putting the fights in, you know, the amount of top level people that they've had in that weight class. I mean, he's beaten the best of them. Don't get me wrong, but you look at what he's doing. He's going up a weight class.
Yeah. Especially with the weight difference as well. And I've heard, well, what you said, he's thinking of heavyweight as well. Like, this guy is
getting on the juice?
Sure, as well, in his boxing career, sorry, not boxing. Well, he has done boxing, to be fair, but in his kickboxing career, he's fought at heavyweight before. He's fought at light heavy. I think from the interview I saw of him, he did a Grand Prix tournament at, I think, either light heavy or heavyweight, and he won. And he was just saying how like slow they are. I think it was at heavyweight. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure it's either light heavy or heavyweight. And he said how slow they were. And he won the tournament but that he had like,
you do, and that you know what? That depends on the competition in boxing.
Yeah,
that depends. It depends on the level of competition, because I'm telling you now, you know, I mean, imagine trying to do heavyweight boxing now against Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury.
Yeah. No, his was kickboxing. I think
kickboxing,
he has boxed. Yeah, he has boxed, to be fair, but yeah, I think he's got like 5-1, like 5-0. I think boxing. So he's
but again, I'd never see him doing heavyweight in boxing. You know, if he tried to do that crossover that what McGregor did fighting Mayweather, as daft as that was, I mean, he did all right, but as daft as that was, imagine someone like him trying to cross over and fight, you know, Tyson Fury or Joshua or Wilder. It'd be interesting to see Wilder, because he's a wild man and he's just throwing bombs.
But yeah, it would be. I don't think he would ever do that. I think it'd be more.
No, definitely not.
Is he? If he's talking about heavyweight to fight John Jones, I think that will happen. I see that happening. I don't think I'd see that happening yet. I think he'll go back to what he's saying.
Do you reckon they'll fight heavyweight, or do you reckon Jones will come back down to light heavy?
I think
that's the more sensible.
Yeah, it'd be more sensible if he came back to light. But then I don't know if John Jones would. It depends how his title. He needs to win, doesn't he? He needs to be. If
John Jones managed to get the heavyweight title, then he could come back down and take that if he won tonight, couldn't he? He could be the 2-week champ.
That's gonna be a tough one for him. He's got, is it Francis or what's the champion called? Stipe. One of them, and they're not. Yeah, I see Francis winning that. I don't know. I just see the bombs, man.
Yeah, but Stipe did enough to just like shut him down. It depends what the Francis has done between that last fight and now to change his, you know, how he's going to defend it. And I still don't see how he's an underdog on the bookies.
Who? Stipe?
Stipe, yeah. He's the fucking champ.
I think it's that heavy hand, isn't it? I think everyone just knows that it can happen anytime, especially with those 4-ounce gloves. But Stipe, the first fight, his movement was beautiful. His takedowns. The thing is it's a question now. Is has Francis learned from that? Has he bettered his wrestling and his takedown defense? And if he has, and if he can stop that, then it's then implement that right hand again. And
you know what though about Stipe? I remember seeing this ages ago, and he was talking about his training. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he'll do other elements to his training, but he went, most of my training is just fighting.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not training to go in and bench press. I'm not training to go in and hit the pads. I'm training to fight. The best way to do that is fight. So he's just sparring. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's just like heavy sparring, because otherwise he'd be injured all the time, wouldn't he? Unless he's sparring with people who he's just battling. But that for me is... Ngannou's got to do something about his strategy to deal with someone like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got to deal with someone who all he does is fight. He's already got the physique that he needs for it. I mean, he's KO'd however many people. He's the top of the top, Stipe, for me.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I even think with Cormier, the first fight that he just got caught unawares.
Do you think? I think Stipe is the best heavyweight. Well, he's definitely the best heavyweight of all time. But I think he's pretty. If he beats, especially if he beats Francis again, and then beats John Jones, then it's no question, like undisputed GOAT of the heavy. You can even argue and put him as the greatest, one of the greatest of all time. If he beats Jones and beats Francis again, I mean, he's already beat Francis, so it's not like he's beat him already. And if he took the John fight and beat him, you'd have to put him there. You'd have to, right? I mean, this is a good transition to my question I was going to ask you before. Who would you put in your top 3 GOATs?
GOATs?
Yeah, yeah.
You see, I'm a bad one for this because I don't look at it the way some, like you're 20, I'm 37. So I've seen the transition of the sport. I remember getting UFC videos when it was banned from TV, UFC 1 in a video shop called Pick a Flick, and I'm like, we were watching it with my mates thinking this is banned from telly, where the bad boys or whatever. But I've seen the sport go from, I mean, if you go get Fight Pass and you look at all the back catalogue, you've seen the sport go from like people just getting head butted on the floor and this, that, and the other, all the way through to this big technical game now where it's like, wow, if you put Matt Hughes in today, how would he fare against someone, like Izzy? But then again, at the time, Matt Hughes was like a GOAT. You've got Chuck Liddell. I mean, he just carried on too long, but he was smashing people left, right, and center for a while. Tito Ortiz was dodging him. Randy Couture, I mean, he coming in like his 40s and he was just dominating. You've got these big names, but St. Pierre, Silva, I mean, they're the obvious.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know who I'd put above the other. I personally, I wouldn't put Khabib in because I don't think until he fought Barboza he really had any. I just don't think he fought anyone before Barboza of any
I get what you mean. That's like, I wish he maybe went to war weight, but then obviously with his dad and that, I can understand 100%. I mean, but then at the same time, I don't know. He's absolutely destroyed everyone, undefeated.
Is he going to make the mistake, though, of taking time off now and then a new class comes in and then it's like there's a call for him to come back and then he comes back after, I mean, he has time off after every fight, about a year off every time he fights, but is he then going to come back 2-3 years later when there's a new...
He can't fight now, I think, because of Ramadan coming up, isn't it? Like,
during a month or two, innit?
I think so, yeah, but like I think now I don't know when it starts. I think
I'm talking though, like long term. Is he going to take like?
You mean like having like full...
He's going to take 2-3 years because there's no one to fight, and then a new class of fighter comes in, dominates, and they either call him out or he decides, fuck this, I'm not having him become the, and then is he going to have too much time away from it? Would it not be better for him to just keep beating the people that are out there? Like, look at Demetrius Johnson. You could argue he's the GOAT. But you question who he's fighting, but at the same time, you can only fight what's put in front of you.
Yeah, especially I think, especially when people start losing, especially after their reign. You see with Silva, before he started losing a bit, started not when he should have retired, not retiring. People started going a bit more. Oh, he's not changing from he's the GOAT. Everyone had Silva back in the day as the GOAT, like the undisputed GOAT, right? Like I think GSP and Silva were the two, and now it's getting a bit more. He started losing a bit. And I think that kind of
the problem is
the GOATs. Not
everybody who goes on a streak. Everybody who goes on a streak now, they're like he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And it's you can't just keep saying that. You've got to wait until like towards the last third of their career, and they've got to have accomplished X amount. But the problem is now with the McGregor effect has just left it where everybody's going, well, now I want to have the 2 weight classes. Now I want to do this. And there's like a set sort of step system now where you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Don't bother about defending that. Just go to the next weight class, get that one.
What about the money?
And then you're the GOAT, or you've got a claim to it. And it's like, you know what? Back in the day, I mean, Donald Cerrone, not a GOAT, but he was fighting like 4 or 5 times in a year, like 3-4 years on the bounce. And he was hammering people. Don't get me wrong. When he got to a certain level, Dos Anjos done him twice, you know, McGregor and stuff. But he's older now. But he's from. But in terms of what I want to see entertainment as well as, you know, some spectacular events. And when you see people like that, I mean, he was hitting combos on. Was it Rick Story where he hit that 1-2? Was it? Yeah, 1-2-3, didn't he? Went down for the right and then hit him with the kick. Cerrone.
Connor?
No, Cerrone. Yeah, on Rick Story. He's just done some unbelievable fights. He broke McDessie's jaw. There was another guy who was just like on the floor and he's just whacking his legs going, get up. Same as Holloway where he fought Lamas and he's like, come on, 10 seconds left. Let's just go stand and bang. They're greats for me.
Yeah. With Cerrone, it was more like, even he would admit it's that anxiety, isn't it? Like what he said to Connie, he didn't want to be there, and he has that all the time. That's what put him back, is to be such a great fighter.
There's an interesting one on YouTube where they do like Cerrone's thing, where it's like the run up to the fight, and he says he's backstage, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're about to go on stage in front of like X amount of million of people," and he starts going, "You've got to get the bitch out. You've got to get the bitch out." And I think you fought, so you know you get nervous, like. But for him, it was like you might be right.
Next level, like I think Justin did. Even Justin admits, Justin Gaethje admits that he does that. Is it? I think every fight, even Darren Till. I remember Darren Till saying I don't know which fight it was. I want to say, I think it was the Gastelum one. No, not Gastelum. What's his face? The one that looks like me again.
Who? What? He fought Darren Till? He fought Gastelum?
Yeah, he fought Gastelum.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was having a mind fuck there, mate. Yeah, he was. I think it was that fight that he said that he just didn't want to be there. He was trying to get an excuse to just be like, nah, I can't fight. I think it was that fight or the one before, but yeah, I remember him saying it because I saw the interview that he said it, and he's like, I just didn't want
it though, Till, doesn't he? Like he proper.
Yeah.
I watched that Anything Goes with James English. If you haven't seen it, that's a good podcast. Got Darren Till on it, and he's just all about just like, I want it. I think I'm technically the best. I've just got to put it in place now, and
that's the fight that I want.
You can see it in his eyes. He wants it, and again, he's got time still. Like.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, we're straying from the actual event here. Let's bash out these next two fights.
Yeah, right. Second one, Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. How do you see that one going?
Nunes. I haven't seen much of Megan Anderson. You were saying she's big, but
yeah, she's massive. She's taller than me. She's 6'1". I want to say 6'2".
Yeah.
She's plus big, good kickboxer. Long rangey, of course, but Amanda Nunes is the GOAT. I mean, you could argue if you're going to talk about GOAT, she's the undisputed, right? She's the best female fighter of all time. I don't think anyone's going to get near her for a long time. I think she's going to win, right? I mean, it'll be a shock if she don't.
Yeah, no,
it's not because
she's got them arms, mate. She just like throws power from them, doesn't she? She's unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I was happy talking about Jan and Israel for as long as possible because the Nunes fight for me, I just think it's, you know,
it could be one of those.
Who would you rather take a dig off?
None, to be fair, none. I think both of them knocked me out straight. Yeah. But I think it's one of those that one's just going to be. I think Amanda's just going to win. Like, I mean, obviously you've got a fight punch chance, and to be fair, I think I saw one of Megan's fights, and her wrestling defense is good. Obviously, Amanda's more of she's got good wrestling. To be fair, she has. I've seen it, but she's more recently, especially using a boxing more, and those hands are powerful. Like.
Yeah,
and if she lands
I don't think taking the kid on's going to stop it anyway. I think that's you know, she just took the baby on, hasn't she? Because
yeah,
I don't know the full story. She's lesbian, isn't she? And they've adopted, have they? Or
yeah, she's got a girlfriend. I think she's a fighter
she's fighting
as well,
isn't she? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm more interested
Congrats.
in the fights and the gossip, like, you know what I mean. But I did see
Yeah,
that she took
congrats
the
to them.
baby.
Fair play.
Yeah,
But
congratulations.
best for him or her.
But she was taking the baby to the training and that they were doing in the run up, and I think I don't think that's had anything. She just looks too good.
I get it. Yeah, the psychology. Yeah, I think she's fully. It's just the go. I don't think anyone. I think she's gonna. I don't think anyone's gonna beat her. I don't see it. I mean, I could be wrong. Megan could get use a distance well. She could get a head kick and finish it. There's no question that there's a chance, of course, but
I see Nunes. Go on. Well, we've got about a minute or two left because we're going to have Ross Pointing on in a minute.
Yeah.
Peter Yan and Sterling. I think that Yan looks crazy.
You think you're going for Yan? Okay, well, this is where we're gonna. I think Sterling. I don't know. I like his movement. I like his.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah. Yang, I get what you mean. He's strong. He's that. It's a bit like it reminds me of like the small version of Alessandro and Yan, but they're both kind of like both got the same kind of attributes, but just.
In fact, I'm looking at the card now. Like it just looks like Honey I Shrunk the card. Like they just took the two big guys and just shrunk them down. Like
yeah, that's what it feels like. And then I think they both got the same attributes. Like Sterling's got that speed, kickboxing, distance a little bit. Yeah, Yan is going to go more for the. He's more of a wrestler, right? I'm not wrong to say that.
No, I think so. Yeah,
I think from what I've seen his fight, he's going to go for more pressure going the inside, get the takedown.
Slow him down.
But he has got good hands. I've seen he's got good hands. That's why I was questioning if he was a wrestler or more boxing trained. So where's he from?
He's Petty Yan.
Is he? I want to say he's Polish, but I don't know. I don't want to.
Well, what we'll do is we'll Google
Russian,
that.
I thought he was Russian or Polish.
Oh, there you go. I don't want to call the Russians crazy, but he's got that look about him. Like when you see,
we don't want all the fucking. We don't want. I love Russians. Don't. Yeah, if have him, not me, mate. I'm saying. Don't get me involved.
He's only small Petty Yan. I'll do it.
So
watch me getting legged by Petty Yan now.
Yeah, he's gonna come over to no class.
Go on. What we'll do is.
Right.
Sorry, mate. I was going to say because I've got an ad Ross and everything now. So what we'll do is we'll do another one tomorrow morning because I might hell staying up tonight to watch it. I'm going to watch it tomorrow and just turn Facebook off so I don't know what's happened.
I'll watch it a little bit. I'll watch it. I'm not going to lie. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Should have said
hit the notifications, Perfect, mate. Go on.
Perfect, mate.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Sound, lad, sound.
In a second.